It is April 26, 2020. Today is Sunday. And right now, we are supposedly gradually, the governor, that is, of Texas, which is where I am, implementing a plan to reopen the state for business. As you all know, we've been shut down, so to speak, limited in a lot of ways. A lot of us can't even work. A lot of us have been furloughed from their jobs, including myself. And it is all because of the pandemic, the current pandemic that's going on, the coronavirus. Um, One thing's for certain, uh, not to make lightly of all the people that have succumbed to the illness, not to make lightly of their plights and the plights of their families. Um, God rest their souls. Hopefully, each and every one of them is in a better place. Um, but yet and still, you tend to wonder if, or should I say when, at a certain point in the hopefully near future, everything opens up and we're back to business as usual, will there still be a state or a remnant of the paranoia that people have. And right now, I mean, we're told, to wear masks. We're told to be socially distant, at least 6 feet away uh, from the next person, to um, supposedly ensure that the virus isn't spread. I personally believe that any disease, when it infects a body, it runs its course, and the body figures out a way to combat it. The science and medicine knows about the body producing antibodies that are designed to attack diseases and rid the body of it. I believe that to be the case. I believe also that it doesn't take uh, everybody to be infected for everybody to become immune. For instance, a disease can infect a body or a group of bodies pertaining to the human race, and it can run its course in the collective body. That means all human beings in general, the collective body. It can run its course, and the collective body will fight it off just like the individual body does. And at a certain point, the collective body is immune to it. Um, Long story short, everybody doesn't have to catch it, so to speak, for everybody to become immune to it, because that knowledge of the immunity gets installed into the collective consciousness of humanity, which is we're all a part of the collective consciousness of humanity. So that knowledge get installed in our collective consciousness, and all human bodies are enveloped within and permeated by the collective consciousness. So, no doubt, because there are more people recovering than that are passing. I mean, passing away from it. There are more people that are. A significantly amount of more people that are beating it as opposed to succumbing to it. So that's a good sign that it's getting installed at a rapid pace into the collective consciousness, the knowledge of how to kill it and make the whole of humanity immune to it. So sit tight. Um, don't let the bed bugs bite. Well, actually, that's sleep tight. And, I don't know why I said that. It just sounded like something humorous to say. But anyway, aside from that, once we recover, what's going to happen? I wonder if there will be, as I alluded to earlier, if there'll be a lingering paranoia. All based upon this social distancing thing. I mean, a what if thought. Okay, yeah, we're back in business, we're back to work, we're open, but ooh, that person coughed. Or, ooh, that individual sneezed. Wonder if they got it. I better stay back. What I mean is the already state of division that we've backed ourselves into a corner into, if that's still gonna be in people's head and if they're still gonna act accordingly. Personally, I believe everything has a spiritual origin, and I believe everything that happens to us either stems from everything that happens to us as a collective whole either stems from our collective consciousness or our collective unconsciousness. Yep. People are unconscious. They have a conscious self and an unconscious self. And the unconscious selves of people do dwell in a collective place of darkness. There is a such thing as a collective unconsciousness, and this is why bad things, including random accidents, happen to people. I mean, this virus is an indication of our collective unconsciousness and us continuing to feed into our collective unconsciousness wrongful, shameful, and negative thoughts, making it let me put it like this: grow in the presence of the devil. That's what it does. And this coronavirus is just an outcropping of the presence of the devil and his attack on humanity. And his attack on humanity happens because even the devil is attempting to preserve his temporary life. That being said, which goes back to my original point, the lingering paranoia. I wonder if there will be a lingering paranoia and people will still remain divided. People that know me know that I try my best to live a spiritual life. I try my best. I fall short at times, but I do get back up on the horse and continue to ride. I can honestly say that I haven't, like Lot's wife, turned around and looked backwards, which is what turned her in a pillar of salt. But I continue to go forward. And I don't ever intend to look back. But that being said, I said that to say this. I believe everything has a spiritual origin or a mental place of beginning. And I think this whole coronavirus is a result of us continually, as a collective whole, humanity as a whole, continuing to be negative and feed the presence of the devil and grow the collective unconscious mind of humanity, which is what the devil is. The devil is the collective unconsciousness of humanity. That's the presence of Satan. And everybody has a smidget of satanic presence within them. Otherwise, if they didn't, it wouldn't be possible for them to think destructive thoughts, hateful thoughts. It wouldn't be possible. Thoughts would only be constructive. Now, notice I said constructive, I didn't say positive, because this whole thing about positivity and negativity, that's one way we get in trouble spiritually anyway, and that can be subject matter for another video. But again, I believe everything has a spiritual or mental origin, including this coronavirus. And it seems random, I suppose, but this whole a virus is it's a type of intelligence in and of itself. I mean, if it was just a destructive force, this virus, then if somebody were to, let's say, sneeze on another person, it would just attack at random. It wouldn't know, oh, I need to go to this person's lungs or wherever it goes to attack this person in order to preserve my life. Yeah, a virus is trying, just like anything else, a virus is trying to survive. Just like any other creature in nature, just like human beings and whatnot, viruses are trying to survive. And they have their own type of nefarious intelligence. And again, this virus wouldn't know to attack the lungs or the respiratory systems of people if it wasn't something that was sent to us by some sort of divine, I don't want to necessarily call it disease, something divine, but it was sent by the Lord, even as the plague was sent upon Egypt. I believe that. So there's some sort of intelligence in it that it knows what to do and where to go and how to survive. And if there's an intelligence installed in these so-called microscopic creatures that we can't even see, then something is behind the scenes that designed it. Something is behind the mental scenes, the metaphysical scenes that designed it and, for lack of a better term, programmed it as to what it needs to do. So before I digress too far, I just want to say this. People are divided. That means everybody's caught up in their own little psychological bubbles. Their egos. People are egotistical. That's what spiritual division is, a product of egotism. And because of spiritual division, it's kind of hard for one person to see another person's point of view. And that's what makes human cooperation so tumultuous sometimes and difficult at other times. We want to get our point across, but we don't necessarily want to be obligated to the other person's point of view. You look at any other creatures in nature, they cooperate with each other. You look at a beehive. All the bees share the same point of view. The ant mound, they all share the same point of view. The pride of lions, wherever you go. Plant life, animal life, fish life, the birds in the sky, they all share the same point of view. Heck, if you want to look at it in that aspect, these little teeny weeny microscopical viruses, they share the same point of view. And this is how they can go out and attack and in some instances destroy human bodies. They all have the same point of view. And we're subject to that, to be destroyed, to be picked off like sitting ducks, because we can't get along. We're divided. And it's all because of egotism. We all have our own little ego bubbles, and we don't want anybody to infiltrate. We all want to be in our own little worlds, our own little universes, and we want, if other people are allowed into our universe, they have to succumb to our rules, do what I say, think how I think, and it's all to benefit and serve me. And there are so many folks out there that talk about serving the Lord, Jesus Christ, yet they're not immune. How many Christians have this Bible, not this Bible, but this virus attack, and how many have passed away? I'm pretty sure it's gotten a hold of the Christians too. I don't know anybody that's personally succumbed to it. I don't know if I should thank God for that or not, but I do. Hopefully you don't, because nobody wants to deal with this thing up close and personal. But yeah, even viruses cooperate. Diseases cooperate with each other to promote their own agendas. How about that? What's wrong with people? People, as Christians, we need to get off those freaking high horses. We need to understand, which is what the biblical Messiah taught, how to let go of egotism. The ego is basically a veil. It's a veil that covers your spirit and keeps it in darkness. And Christians have that veil. They have that ego, just like everybody else, and they don't realize that. It's time to start realizing, people, Christians, it's time to start realizing and remove that veil. And let the light shine. Start spiritually reconnecting. And promote the agenda of God, which is life. And eventually life everlasting. I mean, think about it. This whole thing, this virus, this division, we invited it onto ourselves because of egotism, wrongful and unconscious form of spirituality, which we call religion. Religion is unconscious spirituality. Yeah, I had to say it. But, and you know it because you see all the evils being perpetrated, not only in the church congregation, but by the church officials, the ministers, the pastors, breaking all the rules of the Bible. That's the Word of God. It's unconscious spirituality. That's what religion is. This doesn't necessarily mean you got to quit religion, but you just got to figure out a way to do it in a conscious manner, to remove all these veils that everybody has taken upon themselves. They've been taught to. They don't even know it. Even the teachers don't know it. But egotism divides. Ego is like a veil or a mask. And speaking of veil or mask, look at what it's done. This whole mental outcropping of not only this disease, but egotism causing us to want to be divided, has literally divided us. And that's what this social distancing is all about. Our unconscious desire to be divided anyway. It's finally happened. And I'm just hoping this isn't a downhill snowball effect. We are divided because inwardly, unconsciously, we want to be divided. Social media serves as a great wedge. Just like the, what's the Bible story? The gulf, the chasm, or whatever it was, that the rich man couldn't get across. You know, he denied Lazarus the beggar. Lazarus the beggar goes to heaven, and there's a gulf where the rich man can't get over to Lazarus to get some cool water to, soothe his scorching tongue. That's what we've done to each other. And now, look, we can't get to each other. Stay home. That's what the government is telling us. Stay home. So we're divided, and not only that, the ego is also a veil. I said that. A veil. It's a mask. It's a false personality. It's an unconscious personality. Lo and behold, now we're told to literally wear masks. We brought all this on ourselves. But if you're alive and well, you can take it upon yourself to try to attempt to understand what it really means to be spiritual and lift this curse off of your own head. You might not be able to convince others to do it. There are a lot of people that want to remain unconscious. A lot of people want to remain unconscious. Yes, they do. And that's something you can't do anything about. If you try to lecture anybody about being conscious or waking up or whatever you want to call it, being spiritual, call it what you want. All you're going to do is incite an argument, because guess what? They have all the information you have. They're going to argue with you. Or they're going to pretentiously agree. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm waking up. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Most people don't know the difference between an ego and a spirit, because their spirituality is so intermeshed with an idea about themselves, which is what the ego is. Spirit that infused itself into an idea about itself. Now it's trying to act out that idea about itself instead of being itself. That's what an ego is. And that's what makes it so difficult why it makes it so difficult for people to escape their egotism. But it can be done. You can drop that idea of yourself and be your real spirit self. Not think about yourself or try to act like yourself because other people are watching. You know, you got to make sure you on your P's and Q's. You're cool. If you're a diva, you know, you're always on point. That's all that's all egotism. You can let all that go, and your real personality can shine. You know, just like a newborn baby. It's full of love and happiness and joy, and everybody sees a baby and they gravitates to a baby. You want to know why? Because they're filled with light. People are drawn to the light. They haven't formulated any false personalities to veil themselves. Not yet, but the world teaches them to do it, and that's a subject matter for another video. But you can unveil yourself. That's the message that the Messiah was trying to teach anyway, that most people miss the point. You won't be allowed to rise, ascend into heaven in a veiled state. So it's time for us to wake up, smell the coffee, and we got to figure out how to cease being divided. Now, that doesn't mean going out being reckless and risking of getting sick. Well, what it does mean is to understand what being spiritual is really about, and which is what seeking the Lord is all about, and making it happen. Anyway, appreciate you listening. This is Dario Thomas, Spiritology Television Network, on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Share the link. Thank you for listening. Get the book. I don't want to forget that. Get the book, The Power of Spiritology by Dario Thomas, on sale at Amazon. Soon to be Kindle version. God bless.